The deities most closely associated with the sea were Aegir and Ran, a divine couple whose influence extended over both the bounty and the perils of the ocean. Aegir was often depicted as a generous host and a personification of the ocean's wealth, while Ran embodied its darker, more treacherous nature. Their daughters, the Nine Waves, symbolized the sea's ever-changing and sometimes destructive forces. While Ran is well documented in Norse poetry, the name Aga does not appear as one of their daughters in the primary sources. However, the 9 daughters of Aegir and Ran hold a significant place in Norse cosmology, often linked to the origins of the god Heimdallr. Aegir is a unique figure in Norse mythology, sometimes classified as a Jotun, giant, and sometimes as a god. His name literally means sea, and he represents the vast, deep waters that sustain and challenge humanity. Aegir is best known for his hospitality in Lokasenna. He hosts a grand feast in his underwater hall, where he brews ale in a massive cauldron provided by Thor. Aegir's role as a host of divine gatherings reinforces his association with the sea's gifts, riches from shipwrecks, fish, and trade. While he is generally depicted as a benevolent force, Aegir also represents the untamed and powerful nature of the ocean. His ability to brew ale symbolizes the churning of the waves, and in some accounts he is said to cause shipwrecks when angered. Ran, Aegir's wife, embodies the darker, more perilous side of the sea. Her name means robber or plunder, reflecting her role as the force that claims sailors who perish in the ocean's depths. Ran is almost always associated with death. She is said to use a great net to catch drowned sailors, dragging them into her domain beneath the waves. This image appears in several Norse texts, including Havamal, where Odin warns of the dangers of the sea. Ran was also honored by seafarers. Sailors would make offerings to her before voyages, hoping to appease her and avoid her grasp. Some sources suggest that dying at sea and being taken by Ran was considered a noble fate, akin to warriors who died in battle and were taken to Valhalla. Aegir and Ran had 9 daughters, who are often identified with the waves of the ocean. These daughters appear in both Skaldskaparmal and in Hyndlul-Jod, where they are described as the mothers of Heimdallr, the watchman of the gods. The poetic association of the 9 daughters with the waves suggests a symbolic connection between the forces of nature and divine ancestry. Aegir and Ran, together with their 9 daughters, encapsulate the dual nature of the sea in Norse mythology, both generous and deadly. While Aegir is a figure of abundance and festivity, Ran and their daughters serve as reminders of the ocean's perilous might. These mythological figures were deeply embedded in the worldview of Viking seafarers, who respected and feared the forces that controlled their fate upon the waves.